So while I was in isolation, I really needed to make sure that I kept my germs to myself because we didn't know if they would cause the spread of COVID. So I made sure I was washing my hands frequently, as much as I could, for 20 seconds with soap and water. I was also sure to cough into my elbow if I needed to, just even though I was isolated, to keep any droplets or any of the germs from spreading around the room or spreading around the house as I moved around as well. If I wasn't coughing into my arm, I did have a tissue, or I was also wearing my mask to help stop the spread of some of those germs. And I was also told in the handout I received to keep an eye if my symptoms had gotten worse. So the symptoms I had were, I know I had a stuffy, runny nose, I had a sore throat and a dry cough. And so if my symptoms had progressed to get worse, I knew I was able to contact my doctor if it was during the day, or if it happened maybe in the evening, to call 811 and let them know what my symptoms are. And if I had severe symptoms where I was having trouble breathing or having trouble talking, I knew I needed to call 911 right away and get in touch with the emergency department because those symptoms are really, really quite severe of the virus. I received a phone call from my doctor's office who let me know my results were negative, thankfully. It was a huge relief because I was worried about the people I had been in touch with. I had been at work, I had been into town. This was about 3 months ago, so things weren't as quite shut down as they are now, and I was really relieved to know that I was just suffering with a cold and I didn't have this virus, and I wasn't out spreading it into the community. It was a really good feeling to know that I was fine, but I knew that if I had tested positive, since I had taken my test, I had followed all of the recommendations given to me by keeping distant, by wearing a mask, by self-isolating in my home. So I knew I did what I could to keep my family safe at that point, and also keep my coworkers safe too, because I was not allowed to go into work from that point also. So while I was in self-isolation, my family that I live with, there are 5 of us in the home, had to monitor themselves for symptoms as well. In the event that my test came back positive, they would then need to self-isolate for 14 days and keep an eye for symptoms as well. So luckily my test was negative, but if it had been positive, I would have received a phone call from a public health nurse informing me of my test results. They would have then given me the recommendation to continue my self-isolation for at least 10 days from the onset of my symptoms, and things would start to look better if my symptoms had improved after those 10 days, as well as not having a fever without the use of medication, Tylenol or ibuprofen, Advil. Luckily, I'm not a person with a compromised immune system or a chronic illness. So for people with those ailments, as well as elders, it does take them longer to recover from this virus. So it is important that we keep these people safe and understand that if they get COVID-19, it will take them longer to recover.